Welcome back to my channel. It's a strange one. And yeah, welcome. So this is, I know I've been away for a little while. It's been kind of a pain, but what can I say? So, this is just a little video game rant. Basically I have several things I don't like about the direction gaming is going into right now. We all know about the Xbox One. We all know how it's screwed up. We all know how Microsoft is going. We don't trust any of you. We don't trust any of you, so you guys don't get anything. So we're gonna have to monitor you 24/7. It's the gaming version of Big Brother. So yeah, basically, this rant is not about the Xbox One and how much they royally screwed up, but it's about basically five things I don't like about what's happening to this direction of gaming. The first thing is first-person shooters. Why? Why are we playing so many first-person shooters? I know the appeal. I mean, I have here in my notes, Call of Duty sold $1 billion in 15 days. The last time I saw a Call of Duty release was when I was in university about 2 years ago. I walked into the mall on the day of release, and there was like absolutely nobody in the mall except in front of EB Games, and that was about like a line of 40 people. Probably all pre-ordered. Probably all paid for, pretty much. So yeah, I'm saying that because really, people, you haven't gotten sick of first-person shooters yet. It's the same thing every generation, pretty much. We started off with Doom and Wolfenstein on the PC, and basically never really evolved anything different, except for maybe dual wielding, maybe big machine guns, but that's about it. So yeah, what gives, people? What's interesting about this? I know the multiplayer experience always makes it fresh. I know the fact that most of these games are very patriotic, very woo guns, and basically it's fun. It's a power trip. So why are publishers putting out these big? It's like we have Call of Duty, we have Black Ops, we have Modern Warfare, and then we have the spin-off games, which are the Nazi zombies, the whatever games. So why do these things exist? I mean, they're proven IPs, as the 1 billion in 15 days suggests. That's a lot of money, and that's a lot of craziness that goes into this. And I respect people who play this genre. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, all games have that element of fun, challenge, and basically escapism. So why is that's the certain experience so ingrained in our culture anymore? I mean, for people who grew up in the 80s, it was Mario and everything else. My girlfriend actually grew up in the era of the ColecoVisions, and that was her experience. And now we have kids growing up with Call of Duty, Halo, Modern Warfare, whatever, as as their go-to comfort game. I mean, we all have one game that we go to and say, oh, I can turn off my brain. I can whatever. I can turn off my brain. I can enjoy it without having to relearn mechanics. Without having to relearn like skill levels. My go to game is Tetris. I mean, hell, I bought it on the virtual console for the 3DS. Tetris on the Game Boy. So yeah, that's my go-to game. It's it's almost mindless. I can play it without thinking. I can play it without relearning new mechanics. I can play it without worrying about my skill level, how good I am at it. So we have a generation of people who have grown up with first-person shooters as their default. So yeah, of course, people are going to sort of go back to the original game that they played, that they fell in love with. Um, so yeah, but why? We need new IPs. There hasn't been a new IP since whatever. I mean, the biggest booyah about on the Xbox One, it was the more realistic graphics, which really, and the Halo television series. That those two don't make a console for me. For me, I admit it. I bought my first Game Boy Color with my own money because of Pokemon Gold and Silver. So yeah, I am one of those people who if I see a strong game library, I will go buy it, and I will go, hey, this is fun, play it. I mean, with the first person shooters, it's kind of interesting because most developers have said, screw the single player experience that we got before, screw that, and we're gonna get multiplayer experience into this game. So why do I have a problem with multiplayer only experiences? Because the single player can be controlled. It's an experience that is developed only for one end user. I mean, it's like Pokemon. If it were a multi-user, massively multiplayer online RPG, it would be like that. Instead of you being as the hero, the good guy, you're sort of thrown in here. Here's all of your weapons. Here's all of your Pokeballs. Whatever. We're gonna let you make your own experience. The publisher, the developer can't, or the designer can't design things for a more immersive experience. I mean, we all had moments in gaming where we're just like, okay, this is just a set piece. They're leading us up to this, and then the game is going to take over and say, here, this is all. But instead of scaling up the experience like that, instead of scaling up the skill level and the knowledge of the player as you go along, you give them that basic, this is what you do, this is how you reload your gun, this is how you whatever, and then you throw them into this multiplayer place where people usually outclass you, people usually are more skilled than you, and people usually have different tactics than you. So yeah, the experience isn't as tailored. there are many other factors. I mean, you in a group of 10 people, there's always going to be some idiot who's going to be like, hey, I'm gonna screw up your day. I'm gonna ruin your day. I'm gonna go pussyfoot around and ruin your gameplay experience. That isn't gonna happen in single player. You can have an extremely frustrating boss fight. You can have an extremely difficult boss fight, but then you're not gonna there are no other factors other than you and the game itself. You're not gonna go, fuck, this is difficult, and almost impossible, because the game, if it's a good game, it is designed to get you through that level, to get you through that challenge. I mean, you can look at the Monster Hunter series. Since I've been playing it a lot, like, this is pretty much glued into my 3DS. You can look at the Monster Hunter series. I mean, Monster Hunter is all about whittling down giant monsters. I mean, they tower over you. They can kill you in a couple of hits. You're like little ants to them. And basically, you learn in the single player to how to take down the different beasts, how they attack, how they work. That's tailored very specifically to the single player person, because you're giving the player a challenge, but you're also giving them the tools that they will need to succeed in later levels. And then you finally reach G rank, and G rank is monsters hit a little bit harder, monsters move faster, and they have new moves. But you already have that foundation of how does that monster move, how does that thing do. So yeah, it's all tailored toward things. The thing is, it's like G rank is mostly multiplayer, because you have that challenge there. Most first-person shooters, the multiplayer is designed as a competition almost. Yes, it's not cooperative, because Monster Hunter is cooperative. You have 4 hunters who go down and take on a monster, but first-person shooters are not designed that way. They're designed to put player against player. But the thing is, you can't really put player against player unless they're on a relatively equal level. It's like why people bitch about the noob tube, the grenade launcher in Call of Duty, I think it was. It's a way to even out that big gap in skill level until that person can reach that skill level. But sometimes you don't really get the chance. I played a few rounds of, I mean, here's a real life example. I had a couple months ago, I participated in a research experiment at my university, which involved video games. We ended up playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in the suburban looking map. I don't remember what it was called, and they had two lab rats playing the same game head to head, kind of thing, on 2 different consoles. You know how it works. And basically, I'm a little more skilled. They pitted girls together. So basically they expected almost no skill level, because they actually had a control schematic where the buttons were labeled and what they did. So yeah, I'm breaking her ass. I'm like literally down to. I think the final score was like 30 kills. I killed her 30 times, and she she got me 5 times. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not a particularly good first-person shooter gamer because that's not my cup of tea. But she got so frustrated at the very end that I was constantly like getting her with like even like the little gun. So yeah, there's no way to close that gap. That's one of the problems I have. There's no way to close that skill gap between different players. I mean, she got so frustrated. The booths, the lab was supposed to be soundproof. My opponent screamed so loudly after I killed her for the 5th time that I heard it. So yeah, that's exactly not good. So there are these balancing issues, and then you have people who behave badly. Come on, gamers. I'm a gamer. I've been gaming all my life, from the Nintendo Entertainment System to now. Please, can we act a little bit better? I mean, we can have some days where we're just like, like, damn it, we don't want to deal with this. We don't want to play. We don't want to play with somebody, and yeah, sure. But it's like I was playing with my cousin, and we logged on to freaking Xbox Live on freaking Halo, and he hands me the controller, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. What can I do? I'm not good at this. I know I'm not good at this. He hands me the controller and the headset, and as soon as I put on the headset on, guess what I hear? Homophobic shit and sexist shit, and I'm just like, you know what? Screw you, because all of you need to grow up. I mean, the thing is, we have a bad image in like the media. Gamers already have a bad image. We're looked as, we're not socially apt. We're not socially good at doing things. We're kind of introverts. Whenever somebody says gamer, you always think of like the person who never left their grandmother's, like, their mother's house, lives in a basement, lives on a diet of like junk food and cheese, and all they know how to do is play video games. Not all of us are like this. Some of us actually have lives. Some of us actually have something else to do. That's what I find frustrating. I mean, most of us, most of the gamers I know avoid online for that reason, because people can't really get online, and people can't really control themselves. I mean, online is big. I mean, being on the internet is hugely safe, almost. It's safe because most people can't find out where you live. It's safe that most people can't find out your first name. Most people can't find out, it's safe. And Xbox Live it's even worse, and these online services are even worse because you have the sense of like safety behind an avatar and your skills or lack of them. So yeah, people feel safe. People feel like they're entitled to like bitch at people. So yeah, why? We have this image of being so focused on gaming, so that we don't even know anything else. I mean, I can talk about politics. I can talk about what Mayor Ford is doing. I can talk about what the U.S. Gay rights policies are doing. I can talk about financial shit, but I can also talk about which TMs go well what. I can talk about what armors give you what in this game. So Really, I'm just saying. I love gaming. I just don't like how some of the community reacts. I know some of these. I know some detractors of like the gaming community would say, "Oh, all video games are bad." No, they're not, because there are countless studies out there. There's one study that said playing Tetris can reduce the instance of post traumatic stress syndrome. That's amazing. That's beyond that's beyond amazing. That's like something as simple as Tetris can give somebody a sense of control, a sense of power, and bring them back to normal. Post traumatic stress is not a fun thing. Post traumatic stress can ruin a person. So yeah, I I look at that and say, hey, gaming is doing some good. But then I see the rest of the way our community has been degraded and actually treated by people like Jack Thompson and detractors like that, and I just go, huh? Like, there is a kernel of truth in every single person's speech, in every single person's beliefs. And yes, Jack Thompson is just a little bit right, maybe 1% right, that he has that most video games now are just about killing and like and hurting and all in the name of being patriotic or anything else. That's why I've heard such good things about Spec Ops: The Line. Um, it's it's a first person shooter that makes fun of first person shooters. Sadly, I watched playthroughs of this, and it's amazing. And it makes fun of the genre itself. It makes fun of that. So yeah, basically, I just want to say a lot of people feel disempowered. A lot of people feel whatever. But video games, yeah, they can do some good. I've known I've known autistic kids who basically gain a new sense of understanding through video games. Hell, the Monster Hunter group I hang out with actually is pretty good for that actually. And yeah, I can say that a lot of people need to know that video games are good. They're not all bad, but they're not all good either. You have some instances that many instances that people forgot to eat, forgot to feed their kids, forgot to do something that they need to. They've gotten so immersed in such an immersive world that they've forgotten their responsibilities. I've had days where I just went fuck it, I'm gonna play a game and just relax and like shut out the rest of the world. But some people let this box control what they do. Please think before opening your mouth. Please think before insulting somebody. We all love games. We all love games, but why treat anybody different if they like something different? You know. The whole thing is video games are very polarizing. I think. I don't like the way the community at large treats gamers, and I don't like the way some gamers actually treat the community at large. So you can see why there's a little bit of give and take there. The community at large thinks that gamers are fat. Yeah, I'm fat. I know I'm fat. that we can't talk about anything other than gaming and like what interests us. And I'm saying that the game developers are not helping this either, because the game community is kind of small. It's not respected. I mean, classified gamings and to even comics or the movies, and movies are more respected. I can say, oh, I'm gonna go watch a Lord of the Rings marathon tomorrow, and nobody's gonna go, oh, you just spent 9 hours of your life doing nothing. That nobody's gonna do that. But if you say I'm gonna spend 9 hours on online playing Monster Hunter or Pokemon or what have you, society at large is gonna say, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing? You're you're playing this childish game. Stop doing that." Like there's this weird dichotomy, because it's like, oh, I can go fuck off and read a book for half a day, but if I do the same thing with gaming, I'm sort of this loser who doesn't understand reality. Really? That we need to change our image. We desperately need to change our image. We do. So yeah, this has been my small rambling rant on the state of gaming and why, and some things I don't like about it. And this is a strange one signing off, and happy gaming.